with his speech entitled "The Quote That Changed It All." Please give a massive, huge round of applause for Daniel Brown, everybody!
So in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a personal story about how hearing one quote 5 years ago caused me to drop out of university, completely change my mindset and the way I thought, and change the direction that I'd been heading down for the past 20 years before it, to a point now where, as Josh said, I own my own marketing agency, which I'm very thankful for. I'm able to help business owners get results and change their lives. But more than anything, it's gave me the confidence to know that I will never have to rely on anyone else for my financial security. And hopefully, this message can have the same impact on you as what it's had on me. So 5 years ago, I had just finished my first year at university studying business and management at Aston. And I was also working part-time as a shift manager at McDonald's. And during that time, I'd never really knew what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. I just knew that I'd been taught that if I wanted to become successful, I had to go down that route. And then one day, due to some very unforeseen circumstances, I was invited to an event where the guy who was speaking, he quoted someone called Jim Rohn. Has anyone ever heard of Jim Rohn? Perfect. Now, at the time, I'd never heard of him, never heard of personal development, anything. And this is the quote that literally triggered a chain of events in my life that have put me in a position now that I'd have never dreamed of. And that quote was that a formal education will create you a living, but a self-education can create you a fortune. Now, for me, I've always been stupidly ambitious. I've always wanted the nicer things in life, the nice house, the nice cars, being able to provide for my family. And I think one of the reasons for that was because when I was growing up, the only issues that we ever seemed to have was money-related issues. And during those early ages, I felt helpless because I couldn't do nothing to help my mum because I was that young. And I think that instilled like an inner drive in me to want to succeed financially, to a point where I was taught from an early age, like most of you have been as well, that in order to achieve success financially, the way you do it is to go to school, go college, try and get into university and get good grades. You're then going to go out into the marketplace, you're going to beg someone for a job, you're going to get a 9 to 5, you're going to work for 50 to 55 years of your life, to retire at the end of it, if you can afford to. Then you're going to live for a few years, and then die. Now, not meaning to get all depressing and everything, but who's had a similar, who can relate? Perfect. Now, the problem is because you're taught that, and I'm taught that, and our parents are taught that, it's led to a vicious cycle where we're literally getting taught how to make money and become successful by people who don't know how to do it themselves. And I am not saying that money is everything, because it isn't. But me retiring my mum, that is everything. And what enables me to do that? Money. So money is important. And when you consider that most people, even in this room, will spend more of their life working and spending time with their work colleagues than they do with their own family, that's something that I think needs to be discussed and something that I feel needs to be changed. So the purpose of this talk and what I want you to get from it is not to let other people's definition of success define you or your journey, because everyone's trying to get a different result and not everyone has the best advice to get you to the result you want. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me, and have a good evening.